Hey everyone, Zeta here. I'm on vacation still, but I wanted to give you again another little video, just showing off a puzzle that I really remember from much earlier in the days of the stream, and that's the puzzle Tight Fit by TotallyNormalCat. This is a sort of build your own killer cast construction-y sort of puzzle that I really, really enjoyed. And this is quite a bit different from the sorts of puzzles that TotallyNormalCat usually does. So I found this quite enjoyable. Now, what this puzzle does share with the puzzles that TotallyNormalCat usually does is that it is quite difficult. And so you'll see this video is quite long. But I think it's really worth it because there is just some astonishing flourishes in the setting in this puzzle. I really recommend it. Again, I'll be back to streaming next week, so I will see you all very soon. But until then, if you like the video, be sure to like the video. I'd like to thank our patrons who make all of the things we do possible. If you want to support the channel by becoming a patron, you can go to patreon.com/Zetamath. And also on the horizon, we're going to have YouTube memberships set up soon. So if you want to support us that way, that will also be an option in the near future. But enjoy the video, and I'll see you again streaming real soon. Our first puzzle here is Tight Fit by TotallyNormalCat, who I will admit up front is the setter I find most terrifying. Certainly the most terrifying of all of the cats. But probably the scariest overall. But that said, we're going to do this puzzle anyway, because it looks cool. So, yeah, somehow there's a lot of cats in Sudoku. Are there any setters who have, like, dog names? Not that I can think of. Maybe I'm forgetting one. But let's read the rules here. Normal irregular rules apply, except you might notice, you might notice there aren't any regions for the normal irregular rules to apply to. So we have to determine the regions. And the regions we determine are orthogonally connected. So this is what you might call a chaos construction. So for example, it might turn out that that is a region. Or it... Oh, Insanity Cat is TotallyNormalCat. I see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just assumed there was yet another cat floating around the Sudoku community. But welcome, TotallyNormalCat. Welcome, Federico and Apple. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Okay, so the numbers can't repeat in a cage, and the numbers in the cage must sum to the total. So that's totally reasonable. I was going to say totally normal killer rules, but the usual killer rules, so digits can't repeat in the cage. And additionally, here is the bonus rule, which explains these cages. Hey, Fuchsia, welcome! And the bonus rule is that each cage is contained entirely within a single region. Hey, Gurkles, you got all the people hanging out already, which is exciting. Okay, so we've got to make some regions. They've got to entirely enclose whatever cages they enclose. And that looks like all we've got. Hey, Douglas, welcome. Alrighty, so I'm looking at this 25 cage to start with, and so one thing that looks appealing originally... Fuchsia, I have enough puzzles for today's stream, although I will say, Fuchsia, I have been meaning to ask you permission to use your puzzles because I have a couple puzzles of yours I've marked that I'd like to stream, but then I have never remembered to actually ask you when you're around. But if you want to PM me on Discord permission to do your puzzles, probably at least one, if not more, of your puzzles will end up appearing on the stream at some point. Let's see. So, hey, Friar, welcome. Welcome, Rift Clown, by the way. I don't think I said that one. Welcome, Ambrose. I know I didn't say that one. So my first instinct was, there's a 25 cage, and there's a 20 cage, and so that would be perfect to make a region. Except I realized a problem with that rather rapidly, which is that that's only 8 cells. So in fact, these are definitely not in the same region. because they would that would be an 8-cell region selling to 45. So here's my first deduction. These two, the 25 cage and the 20 cage, are in fact not in the same region. Yeah, just list everyone in the chat. That is the easiest way. Uh, all right. Yeah, this definitely has CTC feature written all over it. So let's see. What about this 10 and the 17 cage? Is it possible those are in the same region? And the answer is actually no by one, which is really suspicious. So these two cages have a total sum of 27, and they have a total of 27 cells. So if they have 27 if they have a total of 27 cells, they can't be part of the same region because the minimum sum of 1 through 7 is 28. The seventh triangular number, as Simon likes to say. So I'm going to put an X there. These are in different regions. Let's see. I'm not sure I think Jovi has a 99% chance. I think Jovial makes a ton of puzzles, and they're all great. And we see a small sliver of them on the channel, is my experience with Jovi. Okay. Let's look at this 25 and this 19. So in total, oh no, never mind. Sorry, those could go together. In my mind, they could not. Let's see. Are there other obvious X's or not so obvious X's that we could draw in here? I don't think I see more, which is troubling because I don't feel like I have any idea what is going on yet. Uh, Worrying. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that could go there. I mean, I don't know if you have to use the pen tool, but unlike my husband, I actually like the pen tool, so I'm happy with this. Let's see. Could these three all be a region? 13 plus 12 is 25. No, they could not be a region, even though that is 9 cells. Uh, the 10 cage at the top left. This is Josh, by the way. Welcome, Josh. And the cage in row 3 must be different. Oh, that's very clever. Okay, great point, Josh. So this is actually this is not using anything to do with killer cages. This is just using the fact that if these were the same, I would now have to make all of these yellow because I couldn't make them another region. So there's another X. Okay, and now that's getting interesting because this 10 cage is in A region and it can't connect through here at all. So let's see. So does that mean it has to take this cell? I think that means it has to take this cell because in order to get to 9 cells, the 10 cage could take all of that, but would still need 2 more cells. So here's our first non-trivial deduction. Thank you, Josh. The 10 cage is in a region that also contains this cell. Let's see. Gurkles now says the 20 can't make a region with the 2 3-cell cages in row 3. Uh, let's see. But it could connect to that one, right? I think. Let's see. What happens if the 17 and the 20 connect? If the 17 and the 20 connect, then we've got to have a region sneaking out here because then it couldn't connect to the 19 cage. But the 20 and the 19, yeah, Gurkles, I didn't, I understood what you were claiming, but I wasn't sure I could quite piece it together uh, that it's true. Let's see, these two. Oh, well, that's suspicious. These two could exactly be in a region as long as there's no 1, 2, 3. Uh, oh, but the 19 and the 25 can't go together, can they? Oh, wait, no, we did this before. The 19 and the 25 can go together as long as they're missing exactly the digit 1. Uh, so let's see. Naverio is talking about the 10 and 17 cases. By the way, I enjoyed watching you stream your reaction yesterday to Simon's video. I think that was fun. I should do that next time I get a feature. Okay, the 19 cage on the right has to combine with the 20 cage. Let's see. Yes, I promise Tristan is not just sitting behind the curtain. I think the 19 cage has to combine. Okay, so I'm going to try and understand Navario's argument that these two have to combine. If it combines with 20, you have to take the upper 3 corner cells. Okay, so okay. So this 19 and this 20. Okay, this is an interesting point. So let's imagine, hypothetically, that these were part of the same region. Where are they getting their next 3 cells? Well, they can't get their next 3 cells from this. And they can't because that would be 9 cells, but now we'd only have 8 up here, so that would not work. And they could also not get their next cells from this because that would be too many cells. So if these are part of the same region, that is also part of that region. Now, I have a horrifying suspicion that what I'm supposed to notice about this is that in this universe, which I think we're about to disprove, this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. Well, if I turn my keypad on, it will be a 1, 2, 3 triple. There we go. And I'm going to guess that that's going to break this 10 cage. Oh, crap, it doesn't. Ugh. Because this could still be 4, 5, and 1, and this still works. Unless this now breaks the 17 cage, this is starting to feel problem. Okay, this is starting to feel a bit like bifurcation, but I want to just check. So that's 13. And that is okay, so that does break. Just barely by 1. Okay, so this is maybe a bit bifurcating, but it the way it is laid out looks very intentional. So I think this is what we're supposed to think. Okay. So if the 20 and the 19 cage connect, which we're about to say they don't, that forces them to take these 3 cells, which then have to be 1, 2, 3 because they have to sum to 6 exactly. And so now that means if I look over at the 10 cage, these would have to be 4, 5 exactly, which would make this a 1 exactly. But now when I look at the 17 cage, now these could have to be at least 6, 7, and these have to be at least 2, 3, but that's 18. Okay. So this is all a very long-winded way to say these are not connected. Okay. So now what happens with the 19 cage? So the 19 cage can try to escape this way. And so that would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But even then, I still can't break into the 17 cage because the 17 cage is now too many cells. So now the 19 cage has to join the 25 cage, exactly as Naverio claimed. And I think that means Naverio saw that in his head, which is very impressive to me. Okay, so these cells need one more cell, because that's 8 cells, and that one more cell, wherever it goes, is a 1. Okay. So I don't have a great way to pencil mark that. I guess that's the best way to pencil mark that. Okay, so no ones anywhere in here. Okay, and so now all 3 cells at the top must be split. Oh, these all go in different regions? Let's see. Okay, so the TallCat says these 3 must be in different regions, but then says he's not sure. Let's see. Yes, definitely got to channel the good living. Hey, I saw Kodak do it once, so if Kodak can do it, then I can do it. By the way, welcome, Tom. I don't know that I've seen you around before. Let's see. 17 doesn't have enough cells if it's not with a 20, says Brian. Okay, so the 17 here. What if the 17 grabs that? Oh, the 17 can't grab that. Okay, so that's an interesting one. Okay, so now geometrically, the 17 cage cannot possibly grab this. Why not? Because now I've taken a total of 7 cells. So the 17 can only take 2 more cells. The orange can only take 1 more cell. And now this region's broke. Okay, so that was all by way of saying those 2 don't connect. Okay. But if the 17 doesn't connect to this, then the 17 can only grab these cells without grabbing another cage, which is only 8 cells. So the 17 actually has to, as chat is saying. Oh, well, welcome to your first live performance, Tom. So the 17 now, this is the point, has to grab the 20. Okay, so that makes 7 cells for green. Okay, and so now these cells up here have to be green or orange. And we're going to know exactly how they split. But these have to be green or orange because they can't orthogonally connect to anything else. But this is the only one of those that orange actually can connect to. And so then these 2 are green. And now that is all done. So I'm going to gratuitously X mark these borders just to remind ourselves that is done. Oh, I think I misunderstood you, TallCat. I thought you were saying this was a region, this was a region, and this was a region. So I misunderstood the intended TallCatism. Let's see. Oh, now this 10, I think. Oh, I could draw actual thick borders, as Fuchsia points out. That would be way more aesthetic. I don't know why it automatically defaulted to assuming I wanted to draw those. Okay. But Fuchsia is correct, and will make this a far more visually stimulating stream. Let's see. Da, 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 da. We're just going to buy time by drawing these in. But I think we're now going to know blue takes this 3-cell cage once I finish arting over here. Da, da, da. Okay. I think now blue is going to have to take this, because now blue... Oh, wait. Blue can get to... Damn it. Nope, not quite. Blue can still get to 9. Oh, yes. Thank you. Chat points out that this is a 1. So we get our first official digit dance of the channel. Woohoo! Okay. Also, even better, the 1 in green can't go in the 20 cage because you can't put a 1 in a 3-cell 20 cage. Even I can do enough killer stuff to do that. So there's a 1 in there. And so now the 10 doesn't have a 1 in it. So it's a 2, 3, 5. That's the only way to make 10 in 3 without a 1. And so maybe we should also use the rule of 25, or sorry, the rule of 45. The secret. What is the sum of these two cells? They sum to 8, right? 20 plus 20, yeah, that is 37. So these two sum to 8 without using a 1. Uh, and they can't be 3, 5 either, because if these two cells were 3, 5, it would break the 10 cage. So these are 2, 6. And so we get our second digit. Uh, that might be 2 more digits than I've ever gotten in a tall cat puzzle before. Sorry, not a tall cat puzzle, a totally normal cat puzzle before. So yeah, so those are 2, 6. Okay, so that is sweet. Okay. So what now? Uh, one of those cats, yeah. So maybe, per Fuchsia's suggestion, instead of drawing X's at all, maybe I should just be drawing these borders. Let's see, the 17 cage needs a 4 in row 1. Oh yeah, let's look at what's left in row 1. And I think that will help us see Navario's claim. So we need a 4, a 6, 7, 8, and a 9. No, we don't need a 6. We need a 4, 7, 8, 9. Uh, and so Navario's claim, and I agree, is if there's not a 4 here, then these two total at least 15, and so these total at most 4, and despite the fact that there's a 1 pencil marked in both of them, I cannot make them both 1s. I think I said the wrong number. If these were 7, 8, which is the minimum, these would have to total at most 2, and so they can't both be 1. So there is a 4 up here. There's not a 4 over here. Uh, okay, so now this 20 cage doesn't use a 4 and doesn't use a 2 or a 6 or a 1. Do we know what it is yet? Those of you who know every killer combination? Uh, let's see, there can't be a 9. So let's see, if this was 4 and 9, that would be 13. Let's see, 13, that would mean these would need to total 4. That looks plausible to me. Let's see. 4 and 8 would break in the 17 cage. Okay, so now Carl, by the way, welcome, Carl. As I try and figure out what the most comfortable angle for my chair is. Apologies for all of the resultant shaking as I try and adjust for the long haul. Let's see. Okay, so 8 in here, Carl says, breaks. So if this is 4 and 8, then what has to happen? If this is 4 and 8, then that makes these sum to 12, which would make these need to sum to 5 with a 1. So yeah, so they would have to have a 4, which they can't. So 8's not there. Oops. Which means 8 is definitely chilling down here. What about the 7? 4 and 7 would be 11. These would need to total 6, so they'd have to be 1 and 5. Which seems plausible. Okay, so there has to be a 9 in the 20. I am now hearing from TallCat. So what if there's not a 9 in the 20? TallCat retracts. Let's see. Yeah, this is one of my few critiques. Actually, maybe I should ask Sven to fix this because Sven said something about getting a birthday feature request from the app. I would like the pencil marks to not cover up the killer cage totals, because it does make it so that I then just completely immediately forget. Okay. So here's a point. The thing I said before is not correct. So I said before blue could do this. Blue can't do this because blue needs to have a 1. And 1 is taken in both of the first rows by orange and green. So blue has to escape to row 3, and the only way blue can escape to row 3 is by taking this cage. So we have another, I think, key piece of progress. Now, this cell can only be blue. And so that is 3. Yeah, okay. So that is now 8 cells. So blue gets 1 more cell. So blue doesn't take this pair, because that would be 2 cells, and 2 is more than 1. Thank you, thank you. Fortunately, I just made a chaos construction puzzle where I was paying attention to that kind of question, so I think it helped me see it this time. Yes. Okay, so now, as Naverio points out, how is this 2-cell cage getting out? Well, it can't possibly get out other than through here. So we're going to go ahead and plonk that down there. So this takes at least these cells. Yes. Okay, yes. And beautiful. Naverio points out, yeah, this can't possibly be blue, so it can't be anything but red. Penguin, 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 you too, Raph. And now the 9 can't go with red anymore because it would be too many cells, because it would force this cell to be red as well. So we can take our little border drawing tool and draw in a border there. Let's see. So this is 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's no way red avoids taking this cell, because red, if it didn't take this cell, could only grow to size 8. So that's red. Penguin, 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 you too, Raph. If I didn't already say that. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure about anything anymore. Let's see. Okay. So 9's taking something, but I don't know what yet. There's always room for more penguins. This is true. My house is somewhat covered with penguins, as you will see when you finally get to see Tristan doing puzzles. He has a lovely penguin hanging out behind him. Okay, so trying to see if there's any other digits or anything that we know anything about. I don't think I yet see anything that is leaping out to me. Let's see. Maybe I should look down here. That actually looks kind of messy. Yeah, I retract. I don't think I actually want to look at this. 16 and 13 and 6 is fine. 16 and 12 and 6 is fine. Yeah, I don't think there's any problems there that I can see. Oh, can these not go together? Is that too many? 13 plus 25 is 38. Oh, again, I could combine these if the outies were exactly 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So those two can go together, annoyingly. I can keep in mind, and this is going to be a little painful to pencil mark, but there's a 1 in one of these cells, which I want to pay attention to, because there can't be a 1 anywhere else in this column. Tristan is right when I said that 7 was equal to 1, 2, 3. I was incorrect. 7 is 1, 2, 4. Let's see. Likewise, the 1 in this row is in one of those cells. Yeah, so red gets... Okay, so Josh claims, and I'm hopeful. Oh, bye, ref. Nice seeing you. Stop by again anytime. Okay, so these total 41 in 7. But it looks to me like I could do 41 in 7 as long as I left out 1 in 3, couldn't I? Or is there some geometry thing here that's breaking if I try and do that? Uh, okay. Yeah, the 1 in this row is in one of these places, but who knows? That doesn't seem that helpful. Yeah, Riffclown is asking if this is possible, and I don't see any reason that it's not possible. Let's see, that would be 28, 37. This would be an 8. Seems fine to me. Yeah, maybe the bottom row is just that and that and that. Boxes 7, 8, and 9 are just perfectly normal. Uh, oh, okay. So Naverio is trying to argue that these can't go together, I think. Um, let's see. If these two went together, that would total to 34. So I would need to get 11 in 2. Uh, but let's see. That would probably... But that would probably isolate the wrong number of cells up here. So if these were the same, that region would, of course, be different from red and blue. And so blue would have 1 more cell, red would have 2 more cells. And so that would eat up 1, 2, 3 of those. And then we'd have to fit 3 more cells from this region in here. So these are different regions. So I agree. I don't have a fantastic way to pencil mark that, but this 9 is not the same as this 25. Uh, let's see. Andrew says we'll just color them differently. And likewise gives the same idea. Okay, so we'll go purple and black up there. So these are both different from anything we've previously encountered. Let's see. Okay, so black is interesting, but black can get those. Yeah, I agree. I don't really like this region much either. Uh, uh, let's see. And if the 9 is not going with the 25, I think it has to combine with the 12. Okay, how many of these cells? Okay, again, so I need 2. Okay, fine. We can do that. Yeah. So I'm people are talking about counting enclosed cells, and I think that that is a good thing to look at. So up here, among these 6 cells, 1 of them is blue, 2 of them are red. So, and that one's definitely blue or red. So 2 of these cells are blue or red. And so the rest are purple or green. So does this mean... Yeah, so I need 2 purple or greens out of here. Let's see, I'm trying to see if I can do something like that for green, but that's not enough cells. Uh, Yep, okay. So yes, because of the careful counting of the enclosed cells, which was done by Naverio and likewise, there's no way for the 9 to avoid taking the 12 cage. Although Tristan's now saying purple is taking the 12 cage, uh, but I don't think that's right. I think it's green that has to take this 12 cage. So the greens could connect either through here or through here, but even if the greens do connect through here, this cell still has to be green. So this cell's always green. Now that means that now green takes at least 7 cells, so green can't also take this 16. So that's not going to be green. Okay, so now I want to look at these cells, because now green can take... yes, we've ruined Rift Clown's fantasy that we're going to just get tons of boxes down here. Okay, so this cell is green or red. This cell is green or red. Or blue. Uh, and we only get 2 more greens. I'm trying to figure out if we can figure out anything like this has to be blue or purple or anything. I don't know. Uh, yes, as TotallyNormalCat points out, we can still fantasize that these are each going to be a perfect little box uh, at the end of the day. Okay, so all of these cells are red, blue, green, or purple. And so because these are all, I'm just going to color these briefly. Because of that, how many total red, green, blue, and purple cells are there in the grid? There are 36. And so how many do we have now? We have, that is 24, 29, 34. Uh-oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, it's the wrong green. I already somehow screwed myself up with a green. Okay. Thank you, chat. It was going to take me a long time to sort that out. I will blame chat for making me make it not black like it was supposed to be. Okay, so how many cells is this? This is 4, 9, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 cells, if I did that right. I could not have picked green. Yes, thank you, Tall Cat, who initiated the great revolt against using the beautiful black color. Okay, so there are 3 missing cells hanging out of this. I'm going to write a 3 over here in this blue, purple, red, yellow business. Not yellow. Oh, I didn't put a blue. Okay. Now, obviously, I know lots of these, like these can't possibly be blue, that can't possibly be blue, that can't possibly be blue. But I'm just thinking about the fact that there's three more total cells that pop out of these. So could those cells be exactly these 3? So somehow I think chat sees they can't be exactly these 3. Yeah. The ones that are hanging out have to be purple or green, sure. Uh, so I would love to disprove that the three that are hanging out are exactly these, but I don't see how. Uh, now this certainly can't be part anymore, though. And this is Brian saw this first. This now can't possibly be part of this blob over here, because if this were part of the blob would then have to get four more things, and it can't. It only gets three more things. See, I wrote it down here to remind myself that it's three. So that is not part of the blob. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. We know the 16. No, we don't know the 16 is not part of the blob. We just know the 16 is not part of green. Uh, okay. I'm going to actually modify these colors so that they're correct, because I think we might have to be slightly more nuanced about our color counting, which pains me slightly, but we're going to do it. Okay. Nothing down here can be blue. This certainly can't be red. Red gets, is it two more? Yeah, red gets two more. Uh, so red could even potentially take, yeah, I think red actually annoyingly could take like any of these. Green gets two more. So green can't get up here, because remember, it's not that green. Uh, it's this green. So if every single cell that could be purple is purple, oh, that annoyingly gets us exactly enough purples. Uh, let's see. Uh, 3-cell 13 cage can't be in. Says likewise. Uh, let's see. That if this were part of this, that would force. Let's see, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay, yeah. So this can't be part of the blob, because if this was part of the blob, that would finish the blob, and then I would need to, and congratulations likewise on seeing this. I'd need to fit a region here, but that's one cell short, so I'd have to then take this, but now I've broken the bank by a lot. So this is not part of the blob. Doop, doop, doop. Okay. So now the blob can only escape in a few ways. It can escape uh, out this way. Oh, Tallcat says the same thing applies to the 16. So let's verify Tallcat's claim. So if the blob finishes here, then now I've got to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I'm screwed. Okay, so this also cannot be part of the blob. Okay, beautiful, beautiful setting too. I have to say about this. Okay, so these are not part of the blob. So now the blob only gets out through this mechanism, or through this mechanism, which means because the 13 is not part of the blob, this is always part of the blob. And so must be green. There's no way this cell is purple. Okay. So let's see. Oh, hey, Kilroy, welcome. So now the 9 cage can't blob, because if the 9 cage blobs, it has to be green. Again, it can't be purple wrapping around over here. And so then that would give green 10 cells, which does not work. So what's this about birthday feature requests, Kilroy? Can we make ridiculous requests if it's our birthday and then get things for the software? Uh, let's see. So that means now these two have to be part of the blob, and they are purple, and they finish the blob. So now that's a border. Uh, Okay, and so now we just got to disentangle this mess. Uh, hey, Pause, welcome, welcome, and welcome, Acid Helm. Uh, so yeah, so can we disentangle the colors, or are we gonna have to think a little bit about life, the universe, and everything? Okay, so green only gets to take one more cell, so green can't get here anymore. Purple needs to take 3 more cells. Blue still needs to take, I think it's 2. Yeah, blue still needs to take 2. Uh, your vision system. Oh, are you trying to do like an eye contact tracer? Uh, I think that the little tiny feature I would request would be to not to imply that it'll be a tiny bit of work, but I would really love if the corner marks didn't cover killer cage totals. Okay, so I think there's definitely a 1 somewhere between the 9 and the 12. Yeah, in fact, these total exactly 21. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because 21 in 6 cells is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so that means the other green cells are from 7, 8, 9, which means this can't be green anymore because I've now got a 7, 8, 9 triple in the column. So this is not green, it's red. Apologies if I'm saying this exactly as chat is saying it. I was distracted doing this math myself. 7, 8. Okay, so there's only one more red cell now. So this isn't red, it's purple. This isn't red. Let's see. Uh, Try small digit in settings. Oh, interesting. Oh, so disable large digits? Ah, fancy. Are the digits actually smaller than they were before? I don't know. In any event, they're out of the way. Uh, anyway, excellent, excellent. Okay. And this digit, no, never mind. Sorry. Uh, yeah, so the remaining green digit is a 7, 8, or 9. So one of these is a 7, 8, or 9. Uh, let's see. The rest of these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one's not a 2 for sure. Oh, it's not a 1 either because there's a 1 in the row. Yeah, and so I think chat was interested in the fact that both blue and red need a 1. So blue and red are getting 1s probably in there, but who knows? Let's see. You can get rid of your 3. Oh, yes, I can get rid of this. Thank you. Thank you for thank you, TotallyNormalCat, because this probably would have in fact confused me if I had just left this here. Oops. And I circled it too. Getting confused by my own notes later is quite common. Okay, so now we have 7 purple cells. I thought I said TotallyNormalCat. Did I say TallCat? I knew I meant TotallyNormalCat. Does that count? Uh, let's see. Yep. Red needs 1 more 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this T is very sus. Because the T, whatever color it uh, is going to lop off a huge portion of this. And this is likewise suggesting this, by the way, not my own improvisation. It's going to lop off this whole area. So that means I have to fit 9 cells into this region because I can't make yellow take all of this. If I make yellow take all of this, it's way too big. So that means of these 3, 6, 9, 10 cells, of these 10 cells, 9 of them are from another region. So these are all, therefore, from a different region. Let's see. And people are going to be real mad if I make that region black. Let's see. No, I love you all. I'll be nice. Let's make it orange. Because I suspect this region's not going to touch that region. Okay. And we know actually where the last orange is. The last orange is there. Which means we can use the pen tool, and then means that we can write in this, sorry, that's yellow, and we can write in this digit because of the secret, which we do by totaling. These are 39 plus 9 is 38. Thank you, Carl, for double checking, which means this is a 7, which means that's not a 7. Which means one of these two digits is a 7. Can I do anything with the fact that one of those two digits is a 7? I don't think so. Oh, sorry, I don't even know one of these two digits is. One of these 3 digits is a 7. That digit's not a 7. Oddly actually tells me that one of these 3 digits is a 7. Am I actually supposed to do this? This actually now seems like I'm supposed to be chasing the 7. Okay, so where is the 7 in column 3? It's not there because that would rule 7 completely out of green. So the 7 is in one of these 3 cells. If the 7 is in red, that rules 7 out of these 2. Oh boy. I feel like I can actually, let's see. I feel like if I think hard enough, I can actually do something, but I'm going to try not to think about this until I absolutely have to, because this is hurting my brain a little bit. Okay, so the yellow, what's going to happen with the yellow? So it's at 5 now, so it's going to divide this area into 2 regions. Oh, because this could be blue. You're right, sorry. Thank you, Tristan. Hey, Pat. Yeah, you should try not to think too hard when doing puzzles. It can cause brain damage. Let's see. So there's a lot of ways to make 9. That is my next profound observation. Let's see. Yeah, I have to make sure I don't divide that. I have to make sure yellow cuts off a connected region here that has 9 cells, but oh, let's see. Can this cell ever be yellow? Yeah, I think it could if I did something ridiculous like that. Can this cell ever be yellow? I don't think this cell can possibly be yellow. Because I definitely can't do that, and there's no way that works. So this cell is definitely part of the last region, which will be another blue region. Can this ever be yellow? Definitely not. So that's part of the blue region. Let's see. Okay, so blue is going to have to grab a 1 somewhere, and yellow is going to have to grab a 1 somewhere around this whole mass. These digits are big. I guess technically they're only as big as 4. Let's see. These digits have to be pretty big too. What's the smallest digit? Oh, annoyingly, the smallest digit I can put in a 25 kg is a 1. Well, that's sad. Okay, the 2 and 9 in lower orange have to be split between the cages. So I can't put both 2 and 9 here. Yeah, I can't put 2 and 9 there, and if I put 2 and 9 here, yeah, okay, that's interesting. And I can't put both 2 and 9 here either. Or in the exclamation point caret. Or in the 16. I'm confused. Let's see. So are we talking about where 1 can go? Are we saying 1 can't go in the 16 cage? Because I might believe that. Let's see. So if a 1 was in here, I would need either 6 and 9. Well, I would need 6 and 9. It would have to be exactly 1, 6, 9, which would force this to be a 4, 5. Okay, so can I put, so here's the question. Ambrose says I was wrong before, which I 100% believe. I can't actually put a 1 anywhere in the 25 cage. So if I put the 1 here in this row, then I would need 1, 7, 8, 9, which would put this a 7, 8, 9 here, but I'd have a virtual 7, 8, 9 triple here, which would remove 7, 8, 9 as candidates from here, and then I couldn't make this big enough. Okay, I agree. I can't have a 1 in the 25 cage. Can you have a 9 in the 17 cage? The 17 cage. Where do I have a 17 cage? I can't find it. Uh, all the way up here. Yeah. Welcome, Flinty, by the way. Uh, yeah, I think that we did that. Uh, and then I just honestly trusted chat to take care of it. Jay, welcome, Jay. I don't think I've seen you before. It says row 6, column 2 can't be green because it breaks the 25 and 13 cages. Okay, so if this was green, uh, what would happen? If this was green, that would finish green, breaks the 25 and 13 cages. Okay, this 25 cage and this 13 cage? If it were green, it would be 7, 8, 9. Okay. Uh, that is a good point. So if this is green, it would be 7, 8, 9. Which would make a 7, 8, 9 triple in the row, thanks to Navario's earlier point that there has to be a 7, 8, or 9 in here. And so these 3 digits would be at most 4, 5, 6. Oh, and not even 4, 5, 6, because I need a 4, 5, 6 here. So at most 5, 6, 3. And 5, 6, 3 is 14. And so I would need an 11 here. Yep. Okay. I agree. Yes. So I'll go over that again. And I think I went one step more complicated than I needed to. So if this cell is green, it has to be a 7, 8, 9 to finish green. But now I have a 7, 8, 9 here, a 7, 8, 9 here, and one of these two is a 7, 8, 9. So that makes these digits unable to be 7, 8, 9. So they're at maximum 4, 5, 6, which is 15. But 15 would require a 10 up in this cell. So that means this is not green. It is purple, which now means this is green. So it is not red or purple. So this is the 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this puzzle, everything feels like, oh, wow, this was set exactly so that this would work out that way, which is just always nice to see. Okay, so we've got 8 purples. One of these is still purple. I don't know which yet. Row 5, column 5. Okay, so if I believe the claims about killer cage math, there's no way to make a 25 in 4 without two 7, 8, 9. So if I tried to do that, I'd take 9, leave out 7 and 8, and then I could put 6, 5, 4, and that would be 9, and that would be 9 and 15, which doesn't work. So I need two 7, 8, 9s in the 25 cage. And so chat's point, which is being batted around by Tristan and TotallyNormalCat and perhaps some others, is I need two 7, 8, 9s in here. I can have at most one 7, 8, 9 in this row because of the previously observed fact that there's a 7, 8, 9 here and a 7, 8, 9 here. So that second 7, 8, 9 has to be here. Now, if I know there are only two 7, 8, 9s in this cage, then at most those total to 17, and so the other two digits have to total to at least 8. But that doesn't quite get me anywhere, I don't think. Not immediately, anyway. Okay. Hmm. See, Douglas is saying these can't both be the same color. I think just geometrically that's true. If I make them both yellow, that's too many yellows. And if I make them both blue, then I'd also make that blue, and I'd have to connect them here, and now I've broken yellow. So these are one of each. A sampler platter, if you will. One yellow and one blue. Uh, so I agree with that. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if it's what I'm supposed to be looking for, but I'm looking for irregular Sudoku trickery at the moment. I'm looking for like two cells that have to be the same that are interesting or something of that sort. I'm not seeing anything. It's what I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for what happens with these three. So if I look at what's sticking out of here, so these three are three sets of the digits 1 through 9. So now the things that stick out of the bottom here, which are that red, and one of these, which is red or blue, are exactly the same as these three, which is telling me the one here is in red or blue. So wherever the one is in this row, it's in red or blue. And of course, the red in this row is in, or sorry, the one in this row is also red or blue. So at the very least, that has told us that's not one. That is not the most profound deduction I've ever made in a Sudoku puzzle, but hey, you take what you can get. Okay, so there is definitely a 1 in purple somewhere in here, and it's not in the 25 cage. So one of these is the purple one. Oh, I realized I never finished drawing in these borders, which is clearly going to help me solve the puzzle. Uh, so the one in green is in the 12 cage. Why can't I have a one in here? Oh, I got overexcited. Oh. I think I agree I can't have a one here, because if I have a one here, it rules one out of all of the places in purple that one can go. So that can't be one. But I think this can still be one. Uh, okay, so Tristan says something about why one of these has to be at least row 7, column 9 has to be blue. Yeah, so if I try and make this yellow, what on earth is yellow doing? Uh, and the answer is nothing good, because the only way this could be yellow is if it connects without isolating anything else, which would require that, which is too many cells. So that, I agree, is blue. Let's see. There's nothing else that sees all of these places where the purple one could go, I do not think. Uh, yeah, so, yeah, the red one goes in one of these places. Uh, oh, it occurs to me I've not really used the fact that digits can't repeat in cages? No, I don't think there's anywhere where that's useful. I was wondering if there was like one of these cages that bent in some way, but I guess because all the cages end up in a region anyway, I guess you're never going to get anything too cool with that. Let's see. So these are all green. Yeah, so you're welcome to hint slightly if you think I'm missing something that would be more fun to watch if you hinted slightly, or if you're having fun. I'm not frustrated or upset or anything, but if you believe it would increase the enjoyment of everyone to nudge, I am happy to be nudged. I really feel like we should be able to resolve this mess up here, but I do not yet see how we can nudge this mess up here. Oh, Ambrose, what's your idea? Yellow can't take the rest of row 6. Yeah, so we're speculating, can yellow do that? And Ambrose claims yellow cannot do that. Do I see why Ambrose says yellow cannot do that? Because of the law of leftovers with green in column 1 and 2. Okay, so this sticky outy bit. Yeah, this sticky outy bit has to go into red or purple, but I don't think this has to go there in purple. I've been trying to make that happen, but I think this could go there in red, is my understanding. Let's see. Okay, so TallCat is suggesting I look at Law of Leftovers stuff. So let's try uh, playing some of those games and see if anything good comes out of it. Okay, so bye, Panthera. So these 5 cells are the same as these 4 cells and the one other purple cell. Oh, no, let's do that the other way around. Sorry. These 4 cells are the same as these 4 cells, which is very interesting because these 4 cells sum to at most. Yeah, so just to go over that real quick, just to say how I got there, because I think it's going to be useful. I don't promise it will, but I think it will. This is 4 sets of the digits 1 through 9, but I'm going to pull out 3 sets of the digits 1 through 9, like that. So this is 1 set of the digits 1 through 9. But I'm just going to note that these 4 purple cells make up the remainder of green set of the digits 1 through 9, but so do these 4 green cells. So that means those 4 purple cells are the same as these 4 green cells. But that's interesting because these 4 purple cells have a very big sum and these 4 green cells have a very small sum. So the maximum that these 4 green cells can sum to is 18, which means that if this is a 1, the maximum these can sum to is 17, these 3 purple cells, which means this has to be at least 8. 17. Yeah, I think that tells me that can't be 8 at the very least. And I think it tells me this is a 1, 2, or 3. No, I think it tells me this is a 1 or a 2. Because, again, these 3 sum to at least 25 minus 9, which is 16. So these sum to at least 16, which means in total these need to sum to at least 16 plus 7, which is... Sorry. These two need to sum to at least 16 plus 1, which is 17. Oh, no. Sorry, I think this 1, 2 is right, but I need to figure out how to actually explain this in a way that convinces me that this actually works. Okay. So yeah, the maximum sum here of all of these is... Oh boy, okay. If this is a 9, let's do it this way. If this is a 9, what's this? If this is a 9, the sum of these is 16 plus 1 or 2, so 17 or 18. And so if this is a 9, then this is an 8 or a 9? Wait, did I do that right? If this is a 9, hypothetically, these sum to 16, and that makes that a 17 or 18, which makes this... Oh boy, okay. Wait, I'm trying to show this has to be a 1 or a 2. Okay, and Nebu is trying to explain it to me. Okay, so if this is a 9, then the total sum of these 3 is at most 9 plus 8 is 17. And these sum, in that case, to 16. So if this is a 9, then yeah, this is at most 1. If this is an 8, then this is at most 2. Okay. Think we're there. I think I have now argued that this has to be 1 or 2 in the least elegant way that any human has ever argued anything. row 5, column 3 can't be 7. That sounds very plausible. Let's check again. So if this was a 7, these would total to 16. And then that would say these totaled to 16. So these would total to at most 15. And then this doesn't work. Yep. Okay, I agree. So that can't be 7. So, oh, so that is 7. Okay, so we have placed a 7. Okay, so huzzah. Thank you for that point, Nebu. We got a digit out of it. So that's not a 7. Let's see. So where is the 7 in purple? The 7 in purple is now forced into either there or one of those places. Okay, chat is seeing lots of other things. Okay, so if this is an 8, these sum to 17. So okay, so the fact that this is an 8-9 pair is now oddly interesting. So we're gonna get this. It's just gonna take just a minute. So if this is a 9, we said this has to be a 1. If this is an 8, this is a 9, and so these total to 17, and so these need to total to 17, but this was an 8, so that makes these total to 16, and this still is a 1. So this is always a 1, is the point of this story. So that's not a 1. Okay. People are suggesting I look at 7 in column 3, which definitely goes in one of those cells, both of which are red, so that's not a 7. So that's an 8-9 pair, which is glorious, because it means there's not a 9 here. And so that means these total to 11, so these two need to total to 6, and so they're a 1-5 pair. Wait, no? What? Oh, no. I see. Those are 7, but this isn't necessarily red. That's the problem. I see now. That's the second time I've tried to assert that this cell was red for no real reason. Uh, it won't be the last. Oh, but actually I get to resolve this cell now because it must be the blue 7. Yeah, because of 7 in column 2. Okay, so I can finally unred this cell. And now I can unblue these cells. And now I can unpurple this cell. And so we have all of our regions. And I didn't make any mistakes at all. What are you talking about? We don't talk about that anymore. You just misunderstood what I was saying and misunderstood the digits that I was writing into the grid, etc., etc. Okay, so the 7 comes out of here, which makes this a 4-9 pair, which makes this an 8. Makes that a 9. Oh, I missed a border at the top. Oh, 2 borders at the top. That was horrible. That mistake we will talk about at some length later. So these are 1, 3. I can remove the corner marks. Let's see. So we've got all kinds of stuff happening now. Let's see. So that's an 8. That's a 9, just by this region. Nothing fancy there. So these aren't 8 or 9. We're narrowing in what these are, which just makes me happy. Let's see. This isn't a 3. Got to pull that out. Got to pull a 3 out of here. By the medium of madness, yes. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there's not a 7 in the 13 cage anymore, so there's not a 6. So really narrowing stuff down now. What's left in the 20 cage, we can go ahead and fill in, is a 5, a 7, and an 8. Good. Okay, so the 1 in blue is now here. So that's not a 1. So the one in red is now in one of these cells. So the one in and the one in this row is just placed. It has for ever since I filled those in, this has only ever been allowed to be a 1 because there's no other place I can fit a 1. So that's a 1. This is not a 1 in the center or the corner. So that being a 1 means these are now two things that sum to 8. So they don't include a 4. So they're either 2, 6 or 3, 5. That's not a 1. Oops. Oh, I keep maneuvering 4. In fact, there's definitely a 4 in here. Because there's got to be a 4 somewhere. Okay, so Tristan's telling me the 8 has to appear in the 25 cage. Ah, yes, okay. Beautiful. Wait. Oh, yeah, okay. There has to be an 8 in here because remember we said there have to be two 7, 8, 9s in the 25 cage. And since there's already a 9 and there can't be a 7 anywhere, there has to be an 8 in here, which tells us there's not an 8 here, so there's not a 5 here. So this is, in fact, exactly a 4, 9 pair, which is glorious. Let's see. I'm just going to over pencil mark these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, these aren't 1. These aren't 9. Okay, maybe I did not get a ton out of that. I was optimistic, maybe more than I should have been. Yep, so the purple 25 cage has gotten its 8. And so if it's an 8 and a 9, that's 17. It needs 7 more. No, it needs 8 more. And so that's not 1, 7. It's not 4, 4. So it's 2, 6 or 3, 5. Our friends from over there. Yeah, and so I think that is. Oh, enjoy your dinner, tall cat. I will see you when you return. Okay, 8 in column 2 has to go in one of these two places. Let's see. Let's see. We've got a 1 there. Okay. I'm debating if I can have a 1 here. I think I can have a 1 here because I think if I have a 1 here, I can make. Wait. No, I can't. I can't have a 1 in the 16 cage. So that actually places 1. Oh, not quite places. Almost places 1 in this column. The 1 has to go here or here in this column. Because I can't put a 1 in the 16 cage anymore. Okay, so now I think Nicholas is pointing out and Acid Helmer pointing out, if this is an 8, I need to make these sum to 8. How am I going to make them sum to 8? Well, not as 1, 7, not as 3, 5, and not as 2, 6. So in other words, if this is an 8, I'm going to make these sum to 8 without using any of the ways of making 8. So this is not an 8. Good catch, chat. That was a very good spot. So that's an 8. That's a 1. So that's not a 1. So that's a 1. Uh, oh, and we also have a 9 that's doing Sudoku. Uh, it's possible I argued something that was completely wrong over here. That is eminently plausible. Let's see, this 9 now points up, so that's a 4, that's a 9, so that's a 4, and that's a 9. Uh, that's not been a 1 for a while now. That's not a 1. Let's see. Can this be a 1? Fuchsia, you might be a little behind on your video, or maybe we don't have the latency set up today, but yeah, we did get that the 8 couldn't go in there. So let's see, can this be a 1? It would make these two need to sum up to 12. Still looks fine. Let's see. Okay, so that's not a 9. Oops. Not a 9. That's not a 4 or a 9. Uh, okay, so people are pointing out, Nicholas at least, and I think someone else pointed out, I can't put a 9 in the 13 cage, because if the 9 was in the 13 cage, it would go with a 1 and a 3, and I definitely can't put a 1 and a 3 in there, so the 9 is here in the 16 cage, where it must join numbers that sum to 7, which could be 2, 5, or 3, 4, both of which seem plausible at the moment. So now where is the 9 in column 4? It can only be here in bleu. So that's not a 9 anymore. Oh, also not a 9 because there was a 9 looking at it. But, small details. There's a button you can push to make your stream catch up if you're a little behind, but I don't know what it looks like. Let's see. The orange 13 has a 6. Ah, yes. That is a good point. The orange 13 has to have a 6, because if I put a 6 in with the 9, I would need a 1 to go with it. Okay, so this also needs to sum with 2 digits which sum to 7, which will grab the other 2 digits that sum to 7. Okay. Row 2 and 3 column 4 is a 4-9 pair. Why can't this be a 4? Why can't these be a 4? Okay, I don't think I see why. Oh, let's see. Probably because there's some eliminations on Sudoku that I have not done, like those. So there we go. Okay, so 1, 6, 8 knocks out 6 and knocks out 6 and 8 here, which makes this a 4-9 pair. Okay. Totally agree. We're on the same page now about the existence of Sudoku. So that being a 4 and a 9 means this isn't a 4 or a 9. It means these aren't 4 or 9. I'm not sure it greatly restricts other stuff. Okay. That determines the 16 cage. Where is 4 in orange? 4 goes here. Okay, excellent. So yeah, that 4, with the power of this 4, makes this cage known as a 4-9-3 cage. Excellent. Good spot. And so that would make this a 6-5 5, 2 cage. Let's see. None of which seems to be particularly helpful with regards to getting me immediate pairs or quadruples or whatever. Let's see. Am I getting anywhere in this row? Let's see. So this 4 is yellow or blue. If this 4 is blue, blue has to take at least all of those cells. And that's 7. So then blue would have to take a 1 here, because blue still needs a 1 in this hypothetical universe. And it's ruled out of that whole area. But it looks to me like that's fine. Leaves that 1 for yellow. Let's see. Is it possible we somehow know this can't be a 1? Because if this is a 1, I need to make these two sum to 12, which I can't do as 3, 9. I don't see any reason I couldn't do it as 4, 8. Or for that matter, as 5, 7. If it was 5, 7, it would be interesting. Hey, Jan. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, let's see. Is there any Sudoku I can do on orange? Like any digits I haven't kicked out yet? Oh, these need to sum to 19. I don't think I've looked at the fact that these need to sum to 19 in quite a while. Can I do anything meaningful with the fact that these have to sum to 19? I don't think so. 8 in column 4. Let's see. Can't go there. Yep, 8 in column 4 goes there. Good catch, Kute. By the way, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before, but welcome. Let's see. Okay, so that was our 8. This isn't a 2 anymore, at the very least. And that not being a 2 means this isn't a 5, because these need to sum, if I remember correctly, to 7. Let me double check that. No, they need to sum to 8. This still can't be a 2, but that means this can't be a 6. Math. 4 in purple is in one of these two cells. Oh no! Oh, that sucks. I had assumed she was going to outlive me. Her part on Malcolm in the Middle was one of my favorites. Both her and what's the name of the other Golden Girl that had a beautiful part on Malcolm in the Middle that I can now not think of? See, there's a 4-9 pair up top. Up top where? Let's see. Column 4. That's not column 4. 4-9 pair. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, oddly even. So that actually places the 4, which is an even better kind of thing to do with a 4 than putting it in two places. So that's not a 4. And bit by bit, those of you who made fun of me for putting all of these candidates in here are being made to look like fools as they become more and more clear what is going on in this box. Let's see. What's left in this whole thing? See, I do still need a 7 going on in this area, which is going to have to go in one of these two cells. Okay, maybe that's all I know. But hey, at least that removes a 7 from here. Bit by bit, we make progress. Okay. The 6. Oh no, the 6 could go there. 4 in row 9. Yeah, we can just look at where our 4s are. And so one of these two is a 4. I agree. Yeah, aligning with the 4 in one of these places. If I can remove 4 from this cell somehow, that will place 4 down here. Which would be great, because if I place... okay, so this 4 and wherever this 4 is are the different colors. So if the 4 is here... I'm not quite sure, I guess. But if the floor is here, that would be great, because if the 4 is here, it immediately forces yellow to take these two cells. So I would really like to say that this cell can't be a 4. Let's see. Something else is happening in the puzzle, I bet. Somewhere. What's left in here? What's left in here is... as I adjust the lumbar support in my chair, what's left in this row is a 2 and a 3, 5, and a 6. Which I don't think is telling me a whole lot off the bat. Let's see, where... do we know anything about 9s? Well, we know the 9 down here is in here somewhere. Do we know it's not here? We do know it's not there. So the 9 down here is in one of these cells. That might actually get us there on the geometry. Let's see, is it possible... let's see, if this is the 9, what does that do? If this is the 9... this, by the way, couldn't be 9 because it would force this to be 1, 3, which would then break that cell. So the 9 is in one of these 3 cells. And again, we have this question of 9 going in yellow. And so 9 in yellow is in one of these 2 cells. I'm just trying to figure out... because this is the only place yellow can get a 9. Other than there. Because I think yellow could do that. Wait, how is yellow... yeah, so yellow could do... wait, that's too many cells. Oh no, damn it. Nope, yellow can do exactly this. So if yellow wants to take the bottom cage... oh, wait. What does that do with 1s? I don't think that works. Because 1... wait, no, that would have to be the 1. And so now where's blue getting its 1? Blue would have to get its 1 there. This is getting incredibly complicated. Oh, yeah, where's the yellow 4? That's right, because the 4... okay, we can do it. We can do it. Okay, so here's the first observation. There's a 9 in one of these 3 cells. Both yellow and blue need a 9. So if the blue is over... or sorry, if the 9 is over here, that's blue's 9, and yellow needs to take these cells. Okay. Otherwise, yellow is getting its 9 exactly here. And now because yellow has to take a total of 9 cells, yellow has to grab this 13 cage as well. But now yellow is done. And now, where is the yellow 4? And the answer is beautifully nowhere. Because There's a 4 down here, which is blue, and a 4 up here, which is now blue. So that doesn't work. So yellow doesn't take this. Yellow takes that. And now by previous work, we said that the 13 cages were split. Well, I guess just by counting, this is blue, and now that's blue. Okay. So that's progress. This is 7 cells. So we still don't, I think, know quite what shape all of this takes is. We almost have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quintuple, but not quite. Okay, now what's the deal with ones again? Okay, so there's a 1 to be found in this column. Let's see, where is the 1 in this column? I guess it's here or here. There's a 1 to be found in this column, which can actually go even more places. And go there, or there, or there, or there, as far as I can tell. There's a 1 in this column, which can go any of those places. And then there's a 1 in this column, which can only go one of those places. I'm going to squint at these cells for a second and see if I see anything. I don't think I see anything that is immediately useful. Welcome back, Tallcat. What sort of food did you get? Are you back stateside, or are you still in the UK? Fish and chips. I'm going to guess that means UK, but we'll see. Maybe you got the famous Boston fish and chips or something. Uh, yes. Okay, so uh, Naverio points out that now, because we actually now know that blue and green stay entirely in the first 3 rows, that tells us that these 3 that stick out of red are the same as these 3 that stick into orange. So these are the same cells. I'm not sure if it's immediately useful. I used to get fish and chips at the Red Robin in Tucson. Those were pretty good. Uh, Fish sticks and Doritos. That sounds nutritious. Let's see. 9 in column 8. Where is it going? There or there, I think. So I think there's 2 candidates for 9 in column 8. By the way, welcome, Nathan. And welcome, T, again. I know you were here from the very beginning, but I think I never actually said, because I think you posted in chat before I even actually started streaming. Let's see. There's a 6 in one of these cells. I could have guessed UK because you said dinner and not lunch. I like how much intellect you attribute to me in that statement. Uh, let's see. So this is 2, 3, 5, or 6. I guess it's not too profound to say. Actually, wait. What's left in purple? It's 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. God damn it. Because these are just going to be a 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 triple. That's not so exciting. Uh, da, 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 da. Yeah, I kind of want the 9 to be over here in blue, but it could still be there, and that would be fine, I think. Does this 13 cage do anything for me? Am I supposed to be noticing something profound about it? Like, I could... There just isn't that much information floating around over here. I mean, this is the traditional, not too difficult, totally normal cat puzzle. I mean, I I knew what I was signing up for. Uh, oh, here's an important point. There's a border here. Uh, I mean, it was definitely 5 stars on Logic Masters Germany, so I see if 1 is pretty restricted here. My relationship between green and purple. Oh, let's see. Okay, so it may turn out I have forgotten my relationship between green and purple. Let's see. How did I get what was going on between green and purple? I don't even remember which green was related to which purple. Uh, let's see. Was it something like from this? I don't think so. Uh, let's see. These cells. Yeah, so where does this cell show up in purple? Yeah, there was something with the 9 and the 23. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but somehow, if I remember correctly, these cells were the same. So, of course, those are the same. So these two sum to 8. So these two sum to 8. Is that helpful? Because I already know these two sum to 8. Is the point that these are the same way of summing to 8? Okay, Carl says he thinks row 7, column 6, and row 8, column 5 and 6 are 1, 7, 8. I must not have counted that correctly. Row 7. Ah, how about that? That looks more like row 7. Uh, okay, so I'm supposed to look at likewise points. Okay, so likewise's point is based on the fact that these things are the same. And we're saying they can't be 3, 5. And the reason they can't be 3, 5 is that if this cell was 5, something, is that result in another 5 in row 1, column 4. Okay, so if this is 5, I have a 5 here, so I have a 5 here, and then I'd have a 5 here, and now we've ruled... No, we have not ruled 5 out of red, because we could still put the 5 over here in red. Okay, okay, still don't see it. Take a look at the 16, not the 13. Okay, so the 16, not the 13. Okay, so if this is 3, it puts a 3 here, which puts a 3 here. Uh, which puts a 5 here, which puts a 5 here. I've now lost track. Was that bad? Did I put 2 5s in the same column? I might have put 2 5s in the same column. Let's try this again. Okay, so if this is a 3, what does that do? If this is a 3, that's a 5, that's a 3, that's a 5, that's a 5. Uh, yeah, I don't see what's going on here. I'm looking at the 16 cage. Is there another 16 cage I'm supposed to be looking at? Because that was how I started, was if this is a 3, it pushes the 3 over here. Let's look at the pairs in column 2. Need 2 more. Yeah, so those are the same. I agree. And we're supposed to be looking at column 3. Okay. Got it. Okay. So if these things that are the same are 3, 5, wow. Okay. Then these cells here are 3, 5. Those are 3, 5. That's a 3, 5. And we've ruled 3 out of the 16 cage. Wow, that is beautiful and very hard to spot. Okay, so these are not 3, 5. I get it now. Okay, so that means that's a 6 and that's a 2. So those aren't 2, 6. These aren't 2, 6. Oh, and these aren't 2, 6, of course. Let's see. So, so I can go ahead and fill in these values. 3, 5, 7. That one's not a 7. That does give me a 3, 5 pair in the column, though, so those aren't 5, and that is 5. And I've got another 2, 6 pair. And that 5 places a 5 over here. Gives me a 3, 4 pair. That 3, 4 pair places a 9 here. Gives me a 3, 4 pair here. That was a beautiful little string of Sudokuing. Okay, so that tells me what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are a 5 and a 9, just to finish the column. So these aren't 5. Oh, I guess there's a 5 down there, so I know they're not 5. Okay, so these being a 5, 9 means these aren't 5, 9, which means where is 5 in column 3? The 5 in column 3 is up here, because it can't go anywhere else in the column. So that's a 5, that's a 3. That 3 looks down and says, that's a 5. So these aren't 5. So these are a 3, 7 pair, so that's not a 3, because it sees both. Let's see. We're definitely making more progress. Okay, we know the 6 in red is over here. So these aren't 6. Okay, so what are these? They're not 1, 2. They could be 3. And yeah, they could be 3. They could be 4. They can't be 5. They can't be 6. They could be 7. I realize them not being 6 is not as profound as I had thought it was at the time I noticed it. And they can't be 8. Oh, yeah, they super can't be 8. Yeah, they're from 3, 4, 7. One of them's a 7. That's unfortunately unhelpful. Let's see, 9 at the bottom right. We finally placed this 9. Thank you, Sam. By the way, welcome, Sam. Okay, so that's a 9. So these are not 9. And so now our pencil marks make very clear that there's only one place for a 9 in orange, which is there. So we get another 9. Let's see. Oh, and that's our last 9, I think. No, it's not. Oh, we've got a mess of 9s. Yeah, we've got an X-wing of 9s over here. Oh, Josh, sorry. Uh, hmm. Well, Sam is a nice fellow too. Oh, now the 25 cage in orange is fixed. Oh, brother. Okay, so we've taken away 9 from 25, so that has left us with 16. And we can't use a 1. So if we use the 4 smallest digits, we would get 2, 3, 4, 5, which would total to 14. So we've got to get 2 more than that. That sounds 1 off from fixed to me, but I could well be wrong. Let's see. These aren't 5s. Uh, oh, is there definitely a 4? Oh, yeah, there's definitely a 4 here. Yeah, I should have just read my pencil marks. Okay, so yeah, so it is 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yes, because once we remove the 4, we now lost the degrees of freedom that we had previously. So 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so not 6 or 8. Uh, not 6 or 8. Not 6. There we go. Oh, sorry, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. Close enough. So 2, 3, 5, 6 is what we had left over after some consultation. 7 just wanted to be part of the fun. Okay, so no 2s here. Let's see. In fact, what is in here? It has to be 7 and 8 to go with a 4, which probably was the easier thing to see. In retrospect. So this is 4, 7, 8, which places the 4 down here. Let's see. So there's no 4 in the 13 cage. Is that interesting? Well, I guess there was never a 4 in the 13 cage. Uh, so probably it is not interesting. Let's see. What does blue have left over to place? You need a 2 and a 3. 5, 6. That one's not a 5 or a 3. So now I get a 2, 6 pair in this row. So what's left in this row is a 1, 2, no, not 2, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's exciting-ish. 178 with 578 is exciting. I think, by the way, looking at the 19 cage would have been easier for me. The 19 cage that had a 4 in it and couldn't have a 9 in it would have to be 478. That my brain, for whatever reason, clicks with a little faster. Okay. All right, chat is telling me possibilities for the 13 cage, which could be 157, 238, or 256, which is a lot of possibilities. It can't be 256 because of that thing I just did. So it's 157 or 238. 8 in row 4 sounds more like my speed. So let's see. Andrew points out that 8 in row 4 only goes in one place. It's there. So these aren't 8. Good catch. So what about... Oh, no. 7 goes in two places still. Do I have anything with that? Not quite yet. Let's see. Means that yellow has to take at least one of the 3-5 pair. Yeah, so there's no 5s in these spots, or 3s. No 5s here. No. There's no 5s or 3s in those spots. I'm not seeing why... No 5s or 3s there. Okay, I see that. Why can't this be a 3-5 pair, Tristan? Because I need a 3-5 pair in the 13 cage. Sorry, I need a 3 or a 5 in the 13 cage. That's the point. Welcome, Calzone and Skip and Jay. Actually, I think Jay I welcomed earlier, but I can re-welcome you. But welcome, Calzone and Skip. Skip says 7 in row 5. Yes, beautiful. Okay, 7 in row 5 can only go there because of the 2-3-6 triple. In fact, actually, the 3 in this row only goes here, so I'm going to go ahead and use that to make that elimination as well. Oh, well, I'm then going to place a 3 here, so it's not going to do anything. Let's see, so those aren't 3. Okay, so now... That is handy. This isn't a 7 anymore. This is a 1 or an 8. One of these two is a 7. Naked single 7 in row 5. Yep, got that one. And place the 7 in row 4 now because of the 2-5-6. No. Oh, something weird's going on here. Something's mispencil marked. Right? Oh, no, we've just got a 2-5-6 triple. Okay, so this is a 4. That's a 7. That's not a 7. My spidey sense was set off by the fact that the number of cells did not match. So that's a 3. So that's a 4. That's a 3. That's a 4. That's a 3. Let's see. That 4 means that's a 6. This is a 2. This 6 tells us that's an 8. So these aren't 8. They're a 1-6 pair. Let's see. That 8 tells me that's not an 8. Yeah, that did do a lot of unraveling. Yeah, I know one of these is a 5, but I guess I already knew that. Yeah, I think this one is slowly getting there. This has been a great puzzle, though. I am delighted that it was brought to my attention. Let's see. Column 5. Yeah, let's candidate up column 5. So we still need a 1. Still need a 6 and a 7. Which is great because this can't be a 1 or a 7. So it's a 6. So this is a 1 or a 7. Oh, but that up there is a 1, so that's a 7, that's a 6. So that is good. Yeah, I love chaos construction puzzles. I just submitted my most recent one to CTC yesterday, so I'm hoping that that one will eventually make it to the channel. Uh, let's see. That's not a 6 anymore. So we've hit that point where we're making progress faster than I'm updating pencil marks, which is always a good sign. Okay, what's left in this row? Not a 6. It's, I think 2, 3, and 5. Let's see, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I I guess this can be a 1, can't it? Can this be a 1? It's already published on Logic Masters Germany. I usually wait until a puzzle is rated on Logic Masters Germany to submit it to Cracking the Cryptic, just because I usually like to say that it is rated well, because sometimes people resonate with my puzzles differently than I think they will. Uh, and so it varies. But it pushed back my submitting Zeta's Nightmare, which took forever to get rated, but is a very good puzzle, I think. That got rated well, but I have not yet submitted it. But next month maybe, unless I come up with something I like better in the interim, which is very possible. Uh, Yellow can't have 2 6s. Uh, does yellow necessarily? Oh, this column can't have a 6, for example, because there's a 6 already up there. I can see that. Uh, forces row 7, column 8. Sorry, I'm still trying to grapple with. Oh, I think can't have 2 7s. Was maybe the point. Let's see. If this is yellow, then I have a 1 8 pair in yellow, which makes that a 2. Uh, I don't quite see what's going on here. Uh, that is very true, Bremster. My last pair of puzzles definitely got advertised out the wazoo. Uh, okay. So there's 2 2 3 5s in blue. So blue can't take both of these cells. Uh, and so yellow has to take one of them, and if yellow has to take one of them, it has to take that one, because it can't take that one without also taking this one. Okay. I know various people have been arguing that by knowing things about this 13 cage that I have avoided thinking about successfully until now. Uh, but that's a way to see it that makes sense to me, is that I have this pair of this pair of 2 3 5, so I can only have one more 3 5. Uh, I'm not averse to using stuff that chat knows about killer sums that I don't. Uh, but I usually I wait until I need it to do it. Okay, so gives us one more yellow. Let's see. So the theory from Sam is that this can't be a 1. Because if this is a 1, these need to sum to 12. And so they would need to be either 3, 9, which they can't be, 4, 8, which they can't be, or 5, 7. Okay, why can't they be 5, 7? Oh, because neither of them can be a 7. The fact that neither of them can be a 7 is a pretty compelling reason, actually. In fact, yes, I agree. This can't be a 1. This being a 1 eliminates all the ways to make 12 over here. So that means that that's the 1 for its column, which means that... oh, wait, no, sorry, I don't think it means that this is the 1. Sorry, that's an 8. So that's a 7. So that is not an 8. Okay, that's got a 2, 6 pair left over there. Oh, yellow has a 7. Excellent catch, excellent catch. Oh, and that 7 looks up, I might as well notice. So one of these chooses 7. Yeah, the box 9 fantasy is looking very real at this point. Yes. Okay, good point, Jay. So blue needs an 8, and the only places blue can possibly obtain an 8 are in the 13 cage. So this 13 cage definitely has an 8, and then 2 numbers that sum to 5, which aren't 1 and 4. So it's 2 and 3. So this is a 2, 3, 8. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 3. That's a 5. But blue already has a 3 now, so this 3 is yellow. And that's blue, and we get the live. We get to live the dream of the magical cage. Okay, so good call on Riff Clown for very early noticing that that was possible. This is a 2 just by Sudoku. So that's a 5, that's a 6, that's a 3. That's a 6, that's a 2. Let's see. That's not a 5 by Sudoku. That's a 2. That's a 6. Uh, the only place for a 5. Yes, okay. Alternatively, there's a 2 there, so this is a 3-8 pair. So that's a 5 and that's a 1. That's a much better way to explain what was happening than what I did. Okay, so lots of Sudoku going on. Like that. Hey, Lemticles, welcome, welcome. Let's see. That 3 is resolved by that 8 and 3, and so that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 6, and a 2, and a 2. I'm going to assume that answer check just doesn't work. And we're just going to clap about how pretty the grid is. Gorgeous puzzle. I really liked that. Excellent. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm going to take a very short break, and in a couple minutes, I will be. Oh, that's right. Sorry, Sam is right. It was yelling at me because the puzzle wasn't finished because I didn't put that there. Okay, now it's good. Perfect. Okay, so and you'll notice now it's not screaming, so all good things. Alrighty. I'll take a very short break and I'll be back in a couple minutes and we can continue with more puzzles.